As we look back in time, we start in 1994 with students at Lloyd Comp learning about the jobs of the future.
For people attempting to jump into today's vast job market, there's a lot of options that should be considered. For example, where are the jobs in the future going to be found? And some of these questions were answered last night at Lloyd Composite High School.
The areas I would shy away from would be the labor-intensive type of jobs. With all the free trade agreements around the world, a lot of those occupations are going to go where the labor is cheaper. And that is going to mean less and less in that type of job probably in Canada, but we'll get more of the technology type jobs coming because of the education level that we have.
Halliday went on to say that the resource sector would decrease by 4% over the period of 1991 to 2005, with some of the areas projected to grow during this period being manufacturing by almost 12%, sales and service by 30%, natural and applied sciences by nearly 41%, and arts, culture, sports, and recreation by almost 45%. It should be noted, though, that a high percentage doesn't always mean a large increase in the number of jobs, because some of the sectors aren't currently very big. And it appears that some of the young people are ignoring these figures.
I think students these days are looking at what they really want to be instead of the trends. Even though the trends guide you toward what you should be, I think that students nowadays are going ahead with what they really want to do.
I think that you should just focus mainly on what you've always been good at, and keep your options open though, so that you do have a wide variety of options if what you're looking at just doesn't turn out the way you thought it would.
While some continue to follow their dreams, guidance counselor Alice Eagle says others are looking at the job trends and becoming creative when planning their futures.
They're choosing again a generic program, and they're saying, okay, I would like to take a certain area as my major, but it doesn't look good right now for job possibilities, so I will take it as a minor and I'll take something else that looks a bit better.
And students in Vermilion take part in a violence workshop in 1998.
It looks like just another regular day at St. Jerome's Catholic School in Vermilion, but the lectures and tests these students are getting have to do with life.
People need to know about this kind of stuff because it does go on and people are victimized and hurt because of it.
Around 100 students, grades 9 through 12, are taking part in a violence workshop. A recent survey of junior high and high school students at St. Jerome's shows they feel safe at school, but school officials decided to take some preventative measures anyway.
We thought if we educate the students from grades 9 to 12, there's less problems later on. I'd rather deal with it now than later after something has happened.
Bullying was one of the topics touched on today. Students watched a video and then talked about it. They also jumped into some role-playing with a few skits.
So far, we've been at each workshop we hand out pamphlets to everybody, and we've only found one on the floor, and that's over 600 students that we've handed them out for, so that's pretty good.
Local Mountie Jim McDonald took a fun approach to give lessons on conflict resolution. Some of the comedic skits had the students laughing, but also made them stop and think.
It made me pay attention. Like, I learned more from that than I would from him just standing up there and telling us everything.
Other students sat in on lectures about dating violence and drug abuse. Leslie Buckham hopes the knowledge will stick with the students.
It's great that the schools are opening up and letting us come in and talk about this because it's just giving the kids some information on what to do with for the rest of their lives.
The Young Offenders Act has created a lot of negative publicity recently for teenagers, which they feel is unfair. Staff and students here at St. Jerome's are taking a proactive approach to help teens deal with their problems and prepare them for their future.
This has been a look back at our week in retrospect.